Well, I'm now stuck in the forest, at least for the moment. I've got my Dodge Ram 3500. It's a great vehicle, but it's not four-wheel drive. And I can't even get up this tiny hill over here because it's rained last night. And I thought I'd be able to do it because I had success last time, but it was sunnier out. And so I'm going to have to leave the van right here. I actually don't have a good spot to turn around. I'll probably get stuck. This is just a great reminder that I need to improve infrastructure. I thought even of doing a big crowdfunding effort because I have such big visions for the place, which I have to communicate better. But part of that crowdfunding would be to have the basic things I need to survive here: better solar power, a vehicle, which is a big ticket item, then it should be four-wheel drive. I mean, given where I live, this is just not workable. And if I want to have other people here, it's not even safe to have other people here if, we can't get in and out of the location. So I'm going to go ahead and walk into a small town nearby. But where I was actually trying to get to was a bigger town where my laundry is, because I haven't done laundry in probably 7 months. And, oh well, it's going to have to be another day. And I'm going to have to leave the van right here, which also blocks the road to get in, which is bad. At least I was able to get off of this road because I don't want to block this road. There's farmers that use it, and I don't want to be a bad neighbor. So as far as other infrastructure things, there's a lot of things that it would really take to make this project work. I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially. And that's the proposal I'm going to have to make. And I do appreciate the donors very much who are helping me now, but I should probably seek out grants and larger donors. Pull this gate closed here. If this thing's actually gonna work and be effective at providing solutions, because it's a big project. It's just huge, God. And so, and then find people to partner with who want to be here and can support the project, who are a net positive financially, a net positive in terms of involvement, participation, people who care about it as much as I do. Because I'm just in this horribly weak position. I mean, I can't even drive out. I was thinking about getting the vaccine today, although the one I was reading about is Sinovac or something, and that's the one that's available. And I was reading that it's not that great a vaccine, that it has low effectiveness. Oh, I can't get through this way because the bridge is broken. So yeah, I think I should make the dream list, of all the things it would take to have this place be amazing. And I think that would also attract a different kind of people, Success attracts successful people. Success attracts more success. And I have succeeded at surviving. And I'm just one dude, trying to do what I can do. So it's a lot more difficult than I let on sometimes. Because I don't like to whine a lot. I stopped posting as much about the whole accident and setbacks there because I got tired of talking about it. Although that's going really good. I mean, the fact that I can walk to town is just amazingly great. But, I want to be reviewing products and having energy systems and really do what I say I want to do, which is design a whole new way of living, a whole culture. I'll get through this fence. I'm not on my property right now, but even out here, everything's busted. Go home. That's Coco up there. He's been hanging out at the north gate for some unknown reason by himself. Just sitting up here. I don't know why. Nobody's feeding him up here. And it seems kind of boring. But that's the challenge is I need to write it up and also work with other people to, God damn that gate, work with other people who are experts in their field and can improve the things I write up, because I've got lots of creative ideas, and that's really the thing that I bring to the project is the intersection of a bunch of small solutions. There's no one thing that's going to fix civilization, you know. We have to redesign whole ways of living and then train ourselves to live in those ways. You know, when you think about the complexity of our culture, we've been trained in so many ways to interact. We know what to expect from each other. We know how to use technology within the context of our society. But we're doing it wrong. We're destroying the planet. And it's happening quick. I was reading one thing that was targeting, I think it was the original estimate was in 1973, that by 2040, we'd really be in shit shape and that civilization would collapse. And, you know, I think it's really dangerous to make predictions, especially these short-term ones that people make. I really don't like those. You get like environmental activists and they're like, we've got 5 years and then everything's going to fall apart. And it's like, no, in 5 years things will be worse. But making predictions that don't come true is extremely unwise. It makes it so people can't trust you. And so I kind of hate it when they do that. And I don't even call myself an environmental activist, by the way. I don't like the term. And that's because that term gets used by so many people who I disagree with their methods, their solutions, their attitude. They turn people off to taking care of the planet, you know, and they pick their enemies. And I don't want to pick enemies. I think that everybody should be caring about the planet and the earth, regardless of the other philosophies that they have. My dad's a good example where, you know, he's a right-wingish Christian kind of guy. Not in a bad way, you know, evangelical Christian, and I was raised very, 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 very religious. But at heart, he's a loving person, and by some standards that I don't agree with. But he also was very much into earth care. He's one of the influences I had. You know, we spent lots of time out in the Olympic National Forest and some in the Cascades, and I learned a lot about nature. He was doing a lot of nature photography to show the beauty of God through nature. You know, and I'm an atheist, but I believe in the earth. And he cared about the earth because he saw that as a Christian goal. That I think it's even in Genesis that we're supposed to. They do use the word dominion, but we're supposed to take care of the fucking planet. And we have done that in various cultures, non-Christian ones as well. And people have put a lot of energy and effort into protecting the planet around them. And then the societies that didn't do that, because they certainly all didn't do it, destroyed the area around them, you know, or they were just unlucky. Like at one point, you know, there was a bad cold period, and like the Vikings basically ran out of food. It wasn't necessarily like the Vikings were these evil people who wanted to go around and attack and kill everybody, but if your whole society's collapsing and your kids don't have food, then you're going to go get some. And that's the position we're all going to be in very soon in different ways. You know, we're seeing these extreme weather events now. That's bad. We're seeing contamination, even something as simple as Teflon. You should watch the movie The Devil We Know, although there's tons of documentaries you can look at. But we're poisoning ourselves in so many different ways. And now that we're meeting each other online and also traveling more, there's certain types of hatred of other groups that is becoming more critically obvious and a more pragmatic problem. When people were further away from each other, then their cultural incompatibilities were not as big a deal because most people weren't in contact with each other. Now that we're really meeting each other, we're saying hello to ourselves for the first time, we're seeing a lot of, I guess identity politics is one way of putting it, but it goes far deeper than that. And I really think what we have to do is develop an underlying set of values that we can all agree on, and kind of rules of engagement for how we engage with each other. And I personally am big into individualism because a lot of people are trapped within their group. If you don't fit into your cultural group, you shouldn't get killed for it, and you shouldn't have to live in this intense pressure. If your style is different, you should be able to move somewhere else, or to associate with the kind of people you want to associate with. God, this is slippery. And so really this is a cultural design issue where we have to have a basis of peace and harmony and acceptance of others, that not everybody has to be like us. We don't have to believe in the same God or any God, but we do have to agree on some things. And one of those is protecting the earth itself. Because right now we've got, we're shipping things all over the world. We've got essentially slave labor in a great many places. There's an underlying violence that is involved with almost all of every society that some people are very vested in keeping there. We've got a culture of people who want to use as much resources as they can, and they think that's a good thing. And I think that, we should go in the opposite direction. Anyway, so I'm stuck in a forest, at least for now. If the sun comes out, it's almost coming out. Watch this. I'll go to town, I'll come back, the sun will come out, the road will dry off, and then I have to risk whether or not I can make it into town and back. My laundry was ready on Tuesday. It's now Thursday. So that's okay. I don't think they'll be too pissed off at me. I don't think they'll give my clothes away real quick or anything. But still, I hate to miss an appointment. And I guess part of that is, as far as the lifestyle here, this gets into fitting in with the climate as well. Because, agriculturally, I talked quite a bit about that, about how we do agriculture in a way that fits in with the climate we're in, so we're not having to use extra resources. It's really the same for the seasons and our behaviors. During this time of the year, in the absence of good infrastructure like a four-wheel drive, or a better road, this road's better than the other road. The other day, I tried to go up the other road, and I actually could not get to my house. I had to back down 5 kilometers. I almost got there. And it wasn't even that wet. Fucking motherfucker. Yarg. Anyway, so this is another principle as we figure out how we should be living, is to stock up. Heavily stock up before the rainy season. I should have enough dog food. I should have enough dog food for the entire rainy season, and slightly more. Right now I have 2 bags, which is great. A friend of mine got them for me in his truck, because his truck can do this road. It's actually a shittier vehicle in some ways, but at least he can do the road. I don't think it's 4-wheel drive, but my van's just too heavy and awkward. And so there's other things we can think about as we design an annual schedule of making sure we are fully stocked up with everything we could possibly need from June to November, to the beginning of November. So June, July, August, September, October, 5 months. And generally, I choose 6 months as how much supplies I want, And so that's a good metric. And then for some other things, we can have a year of it. But the point is we should do a big buying trip in June and just never have to go to town. Because people can still walk in, and other people have better cars than I have. And of course, the real solution is improve infrastructure such that the place is not so rustic. I've actually got some friends that want to come visit, and I'm trying to arrange places in town for them to stay, and then we can still visit, but they don't want to stay in the Bosque. It's too dirty, it's too simple, there's too much wildlife probably, and they stay in hotels and stuff. And then even to the point of infrastructure-wise, I should have a place in town, or maybe we should start a hostel so that we can stage people to get them in. It could be in Yotatiro, it could be in Aronga, and it could be run as a part of the organization, part of the nonprofit, but would then allow a buffer to get people in and out of here. Of course, the other option is fix up this road, but it's not my land. I have permission to go on this road, but I don't actually have rights to do it. And so, if you look at really big infrastructure stuff, I need donations so big that I can buy properties next to mine, because there's actually a whole bunch of great opportunities for doing amazing things. I have big dreams, and I guess I got to communicate those big dreams to people who have big resources, and they're looking for stuff to support. I mean, it amazes me. There's organizations out there that get tons of donations, and I don't. I get a little bit, and just did get one that was the biggest one I've ever gotten. And that was great. I really appreciate it. And I got $25 from a guy I don't know. He got a little annoyed that I didn't thank him right away, but I don't check email every day because I'm having some other issues. All right. Anyway, there's some rambling for you. Fucking stuck in the woods.